Bronco Studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OSU update with Kyle Fredrickson. I'm Jenni Carlson. Kyle, obviously a lot of attention on this Saturday game against Texas as a game that the Cowboys can get bowl eligible, but it's also senior day, last home game for the Cowboys, and an 18-member senior class, which is considerably smaller than that 28-member class a year ago, but some fairly significant contributions. And let's start with some unexpected ones. There's some walk-ons in this class that have become important guys for this team.
Right, and you know, there are two things that get Mike Gundy pretty emotionally invested when you're talking to him about aspects of the team. It's senior day and it's walk-ons. You know, there are two positions, or one position and one day that really stick out in Gundy's mind because of how emotional it is. He has a lot of respect for these guys who walk on. And in this class, I mean, there's some guys who've made notable contributions. These aren't just guys who are practice players. The first being Teddy Johnson. You know, he's a fullback, walk-on from Coppell, Texas. Obviously, he had his first career touchdown catch against West Virginia a couple weeks ago. Both of his parents are OSU grads, so they'll surely be in the stands. Another guy who made a big play this year, safety Elliot Jeffcoat. John Helsey wrote a great profile about him, about how he moved across the country for a chance to play here from South Carolina. Recovers that sky kick against Iowa State that really is the difference maker in the game, which is definitely a key. And then going back to a guy that maybe fans have forgotten since it happened, but fullback Derek Branson blocks a punt against Texas Tech in 2013 and really a key play and a Cowboy victory on the road. So just three of a lot of guys who are well respected in that locker room.
Definitely so. Another guy that sort of stands out because of family lineage as much as anything, but he's continuing that is Daniel Koenig, an offensive lineman. This will probably be an interesting day for him. He's been to some OSU senior days before.
Yeah, you know, with his two older brothers, you know, graduating from the program, this is going to be a big day for the Koenig family. And it's been a strange year for Daniel. I mean, think about this. He's the only multi-year starter coming back on this offensive line. You know, he's one of those guys who loved Wickline, had a lot of respect for him, had kind of developed in this program. And all of a sudden, he's the senior leader with a new coach. So it's been an interesting year for him, and obviously a tough one with all of the criticism that's been put on this offensive line for some of their inconsistencies. But no doubt a big day for him. You know, a last time to play at Boone Pickens Stadium, a place that means so much to his family. You know, that's going to be one guy to definitely keep your eye on because it's going to be special for him.
Strange, too, that his offensive line coach, Joe Wickline, will be on the other side of the field for his senior day.
Of course.
Just as an aside there. Lastly, Des Roland is a guy I think a lot of people will be mindful of this senior day. He loses his mom. You know, parents are part of this, and she won't be there. This will be really emotional for Desmond Roland.
Yeah, absolutely. And Roland rejoined the team this past week, obviously, after the passing of his mother, Carolyn, who had been battling health issues, you know, for a while now. So an emotional time, you know, of course. Everyone wants to play for these seniors. Everyone wants to see them go out on a high note. But you think this week it's especially got to mean that for Desmond Roland with what he's gone through. And this really hasn't been the year that he anticipated. I remember back in fall camp him talking about how he'd like to have even bigger numbers this year. He was really confident. He was healthy. You know, he suffered through a little bit of injury this year, and then missing that game, you know, it was tough on the team and tough for him. So, you know, they would love to send him out with a victory and a little bit of a high note after such a tough time for him these past few weeks.
Yeah, that senior ceremony will happen before kickoff, which is 6:30 on Saturday night there at Boone Pickens Stadium. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.